Hello lovely people and welcome to the Almita Made channel. My name is Alma and I'm here to chat about all things making, mainly sewing but with a little bit of extra crafts thrown in every now and then. Today I'm going to share with you a few things that I've made recently. There's some sewn bits and definitely some knitting bits as well, which feels like a big deal when I finish a knitting project because at least for me it takes so much longer to finish something knitted than it does something sewn. So it feels quite exciting to be able to show you a few finished things. Let me begin though by telling you what I'm wearing. This is a recent make. This is a little simple jersey top, racerback, and it's something I made just before I went on my trip to Costa Rica. I just didn't have a chance to take proper pictures and tell you about it, but it is, and I have a paper pattern for once. I never have paper patterns, but this is a pattern by Made My Wardrobe. If you don't know them, they're a really cool small UK company. So I've made a few of their patterns already, and then when I upgraded my sewing machine last, upgraded to a FAF, Passport 2.0. I shopped around. I knew that I wanted to move over to FAF. I was using Brother. I've used Singer as well in the past, but I've heard very good things about FAF. I decided I wanted a FAF machine and I did quite a lot of research, and Made My Wardrobe sell FAF sewing machines, and they're very helpful with if you've got queries about how the machine works and things like that. I think you get a guarantee as well, so you can look after your machine via them. And the perk of getting it through Made My Wardrobe was that you got a little bundle of gifts. I think I got some zips and then 2 of their patterns. And I was able to tell them, I've got these ones, so maybe could I have the other ones that I've got my eye on. So I got 2. I got some sort of jogging trousers that I haven't made yet. And then I got this, which is the Lottie Bra and top. Now, it's a very simple pattern, a very simple shape, but I didn't have anything quite like it. And what I love especially is the racer back, which isn't too accentuated. It's just a little bit. And I'll put some pictures of the one I'm wearing up in a minute as well. My thought with this was that if I could get the fit right, if I took my time to get the fit right, it's something that I can make over and over again with very small amounts of jersey. That would be very useful. And so far I've made 2. So I made a toile first with some scrap jersey from another project, and it was not a good fit from the get-go. It was bad. And it's the kind of thing that back in the day I would have gone like, oh, it's such a simple top. Why doesn't it fit? I'll just forget about it. I won't use this pattern. But now that I know more about fitting and more about how my body specifically needs to be, how I need to adjust patterns to fit my body specifically, I knew that it probably wasn't going to be a great fit straight away because sleeveless things tend not to fit quite right on me. Don't know why. So I knew that I wanted to make a toile. I used some jersey I wasn't precious about, made a toile. I had basically a lot of excess here, which is quite a common problem, I think, with different types of bodies, but a lot of excess just here. So I pinched it out. Because it's jersey, that alteration isn't too hard to do. You don't need to add a dart or anything like that. I just pinched it out and twisted the pattern, straightened out the side seams, and Bob's your uncle. And then I made this one. Excuse the fabric. It is a funny fabric. It's one of those jerseys from Costa Rica that I got a few years ago. This one has brands of beer on it. It's so trashy, but I really like it. I've made Pat some pants, some boxer shorts in this. He really likes them, and I had some left, so I thought I'd make my first Lottie Bra in this. And I've talked about this fabric before in previous vlogs. It's not a great jersey because it's got a lot of polyester, so it's not great because it makes me sweat a lot. However, this little top, and I'll put a picture of me wearing it, I was so happy about the fit, and because this is the first one I made after altering the pattern, and I was extremely happy. This is the bra, so it just has elastic under the bust, and because it's this bad polyester, I won't be wearing it loads and loads, but I do wear it just at home to do some home exercise. I just do a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I wear it once and it goes in the wash. And yes, it's wasteful, but it's a cute little top. And I'm hoping to make more, maybe in lycras that aren't quite as smelly, basically, to be honest. But the good thing about the fact that this is a very polyestery jersey is that I can wear it without a bra. There's something about it. It's quite shiny. It doesn't show too much. Also, there's quite a busy print on it, obviously. So I'm very, very happy with the fit on that one, because also the recovery on this jersey is really good. So the polyester has pros and cons, I guess. But then I knew that now that I had the fit right, I wanted to make some very wearable little tank tops, basically. That's what I would call this. And I feel like this is cuffing, so not the best choice of fabric. I was just looking for lilac jersey for quite a while on the internet. I couldn't find the right shade or whatever, or the right price. And then I found this, I think it was from Dalston Mills Fabrics. And it's a cuffing. So it doesn't have amazing recovery, unfortunately. If you see, it goes a little bit, I don't know. It's not great. So I can't wear it without a bra, that's for sure. You can't really wear this with a regular bra. At least I don't like bra straps showing. That's a thing I've got. I don't love it as a look. And it's such a clean line. I love the back. That racer back is really clean and cool. And I don't want my bra straps poking out. So eventually what I want to do is make this top in maybe a better jersey, or with an inbuilt lining bra sort of thing, so that I can just wear it on its own. With this one, I couldn't do that. I didn't have much fabric, and it wasn't great ideal fabric for it anyway. So what I did was I had some of these. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this. It's a weird shape. It's plastic. You could probably find it online. I bought these ages ago. I've got one in a sort of nude color and one in black. So I'm wearing the nude color one. And what you do is you sort of trap your bra straps in it so that they're brought in the center of your back, pulled in, and they don't show on a racer back. It's really effective, and it's just a little piece of plastic. I love it. Would recommend. But in the future, and I've been researching and watching some tutorials on YouTube, on TikTok as well, of people who basically, for summery sleeveless things in jersey, they build in like a power net or a power mesh layer that acts as a bra. So my plan would be to basically make the outer in a jersey, a plain jersey. I'd love to have it in lots of different colors, so I can wear it with different things. And then cut in another layer that is not the long top like this, but the bra version like this, which ends here. Put the elastic in, and then maybe also put a layer of power net, and then attaching, just sewing the outer and the lining and power mesh together along all the edges, and then do the binding, because this is finished actually. You might be able to see it better on the bare version. Very neat, nice little binding all around the neckline and the armholes. I love it. It's a very simple but very effective pattern. And yes, it took me, I'm going to say, less than an hour to fix the fitting issue. And then, now I can hopefully make it over and over again. I do have some black jersey and some white jersey in my stash at the moment, so I would love to make those too. And I'll be on the lookout of good, sturdy jerseys to make, maybe colorful ones. I could make a patterned one as well. I do like my beer one. We'll see. But anyway, I would recommend this little pattern. It's one of those things that it's not that exciting, but I wore it so much on my trip, for example. I wore this to travel in, and it was just perfect because when I left London, it was boiling hot. Then on the plane, it got a little bit cold, so I put 2 layers on. I had like a long sleeve top and a jumper. I get cold up in the air. It was a 10-hour plus flight, so, and you can layer on top because this is very flat. There's no frills, there's no collars, nothing. And then when I landed on the other side, which was also very hot, I could take off the layers. So I would recommend it. Very, very nice. Now, I'm going to move on to something that you have seen already, but I haven't actually talked about it in detail. And it is the latest Sew Over It sewing pattern. I work at Sew Over It, so that's the disclaimer. I love the patterns, of course, and I am very biased. But this is the Courtney jumpsuit. This is the sample that I made and wore at the photo shoot, which is an amazing tiger block print cotton. I love this. Now, the story about this is that for the photo shoot, I wore a strapless bra for the pictures, and I'll put some up. Now, that looks great, but in my day-to-day life, I do not enjoy a strapless bra. I haven't yet met a strapless bra that I haven't hated, if we're being completely honest. The only ones that I do enjoy are the bandeau bras, if you know what I mean. So they're kind of like a tube, a boob tube, a small tube of very stretchy fabric that just like holds in place. Those I like. However, with this neckline, which is a gentle sweetheart neckline and fairly low at the back and sides, the bandeau bra shows. So I can't wear that one. So I wore one that I've basically bought just for photo shoots, to be honest, because that's the look that we need for the photos. However, to wear this jumpsuit in real life, going about my business, the strapless bra was not an option for me. I just don't feel comfortable, which means I won't want to wear this jumpsuit. So for a bit, I wore it with a bra that has pink straps. So the straps were showing, but at least they were pink. But again, seeing myself with the straps showing, I just don't like that look. It's just something that aesthetically does not please me, especially when you have a teeny tiny rouleau strap like this. It's so thin and delicate and beautiful. So I was thinking about it, you know, researching strapless bras again, and all of them, when you read the reviews, lots of people are just like, yeah, it just falls down. And I know I look at a very cheap range of bras. I'm sure that if you go up in spending, there are very good options. It's not something I want to spend a lot of money on. So I wasn't finding the right one for me and for this jumpsuit. Then it occurred to me that this is a thing, and I'm going to premise all of this with the fact that I am a C cup. So this possibly won't apply to much bigger cups, but I'm sharing it in case some of you out there have similar problems with strapless bras and things like that could be solved with the little trick that I've done on this one. So I like a soft bra basically, and often I buy bras that come with cups and I remove them. Very often they are removable. So I do have a bunch of these spare. It's just like foam cups, which I believe you can buy just on their own, probably from haberdasheries. But I have maybe 3 or 4 pairs in my drawer that I've never chucked away, but I don't wear with the bra because I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the look. But suddenly I was looking at this jumpsuit thinking, I wonder if I can just add some foam cups in it. So, because the problem, I don't mind wearing things without a bra, but this fabric is very, very light. So it's not so much for the support that I'm looking for a solution, for a bra solution. It's more for the, how can we say it delicately? It's just for coverage. Coverage is the word. So it doesn't show too much because this cotton is super fine. So I suddenly thought, what if I could build in some of these foam cups into the bodice? Is that a thing that people do? I started looking on YouTube, and of course there were lots of tutorials, and wouldn't you know it, princess seams are kind of perfect to add cups into a bodice. So the Courtney jumpsuit has princess seams. You can't fully see them on this, but maybe I'll put the line drawing up so you can see. And basically what I found out as the recommended thing was to open up, this one is fully lined. This bodice is fully lined. So I had to unstitch at the waist where I'd secured the lining, made an opening, put in the foam cups. You can tell that they're in there now. Pin them, try it on, shifted them around to see where I wanted them. And then, to my surprise, I thought I was going to be securing them to the lining, but no. I secured them to the seam allowances of the princess seam on the outer bodice. That blew my mind, and it works so well. They stay in place. You can't see any stitching from the outside. So I secured them in 2 places, I believe. Yeah, top and bottom of the seam, and just hand sewed it, and then put back the lining, secured the lining. You can't see anything on the inside. And so the cups are only attached to the outer, not to the lining. And it's made such a difference. I'm so happy. I now feel very comfortable wearing this jumpsuit. I don't have to think about uncomfortable bras. I'll put some pictures or a video up of how it looks now with the inbuilt cups. And what I thought is that that is an amazing trick that I'm going to use on more, thin strapped summer garments where I can't quite find the right bra to wear with them, and where a strapless bra would be called for. Instead of that, I'm just going to do this from the get-go. Put in some built-in foam cups. Da-da-da. It's worked such a treat. Let me know if any of you out there have tried this, because it's not something I've thought of before. It's opened up a whole world. Very happy with that. The next thing I am extremely excited about, and I made myself laugh because looking back at my latest plans vlog, none of what I've shown you today was on the plans vlog, I don't think. Maybe some of the knitting. But this particular one sort of jumped the queue, I had it in mind ages ago and had forgotten about it. But anyway, it's a fabric. It's another, wouldn't you know it, another tiger themed jumpsuit. I don't know how that's happened. You wait all your life for a tiger jumpsuit and then 2 come along at the same time. Isn't that what they say? So the story of this one, every piece has a story. The story of this one is I bought another block print cotton from Rainbow Fabrics. I saw someone on Instagram who made an amazing dress in this fabric, got obsessed with it. I hadn't really seen it in any shops. Then I saw it come up on Rainbow Fabrics, bought it straight away. It's a very narrow fabric, but I got 3 meters, luckily, because then I feel like this one specifically sold out quite quickly. They still have some gorgeous block print cottons, but not this one. So I fell in love with it, just the design of it, the way that the tigers are sort of spluted. Spluted is what I call it. It's what Roy does when he's really hot. He gets into that position. It looks like a tiger carpet. It just reminded me of that. The colors are amazing. The illustrations are really, really cool. And so I bought it. This is quite a while ago. I'm going to say it was still cold when I bought it. And I thought I'm going to have to think long and hard of what to make with it. Because it has vertical stripes, I think I didn't want to interrupt that too much because the tigers are quite big. Again, I didn't want something too fussy. I thought a dress potentially, but I couldn't quite think of the right pattern that went with the fabric. Anyway, I thought. And then since it's been hot, I've been wearing my Tate Rompers by Small Museum. I've been wearing them a lot. I've made 2 so far. I wear them a lot in the heat. The wide leg is just so comfortable when it's hot, and they just look cool. They look really cool, in my opinion. I'm sure the style is not for everyone. It's a bit like a clown suit, but I find them extremely cool. And so after umming and ahhing a lot about what to do with this fabric, I did decide that the Tate Romper was its destiny. So here it is. Ta-da! I'll put pictures up in a minute because you definitely need the full length vision. But I will tell you that I had to make the legs a lot narrower in order to fit even in 3 meters of this fabric because the fabric is very narrow. So at one point, once I decided that I wanted this fabric and this pattern, I started laying the pieces down and I was like, no, we can realize I did not have enough. And that made me quite upset because by this point I had the vision, that's what I wanted to make. There was no going back. So I thought for quite a bit of solutions. I thought maybe I could piece some some of the fabric together, but again, the stripes, you would just lose the effect of the large tigers and large stripes, so that wasn't going to be the right solution for me. So in the end, because the way it's constructed, you just have this bodice and really wide legs attached to it, gathered into the bodice, and there's quite a lot of gathering, and the legs are enormous in the original. So I just folded out the side seam, basically the side seam end, by quite a bit. I'm going to say maybe 5 centimeters. Lost those 5 centimeters, which meant I could fit a pair of legs onto one folded, a pair of leg pieces onto the folded fabric, if that makes sense. And it meant that I could fit 2 pairs and the bodice and the straps and the pockets, because it has pockets, of course, although not all the pockets, actually. I lie. I've got a different fabric in there. Just a bit of gingham, because I very much used every little bit of this fabric. Here we've got, what do we have? We have 1 tiger fabric pocket and 1 gingham. This is how you make things work. Am I right? And then for the straps, I did do something a little bit different. So with the pattern, what you get is either thin-ish tie straps, which is easier for fitting, but they are very thin. And again, I don't wear that one with, I tend not to wear that one with a bra, because the straps are quite thin and they don't quite cover the bra straps. So I tend to use my bandeau bra, which I can wear with this pattern. The other option is slightly thicker straps, but fixed, which I haven't actually done that one straight like that. My mango Tate Romper, which you would have seen in the So Fruity vlog. I'll link to that below. For those ones, I made the fixed straps width, but I made them much longer and put some elastic in it, so you've got scrunchy straps. For this one, I don't know why, but I got it into my head that I wanted bows. It's the things that come to me at 2 a.m. when I can't sleep. It's like, ooh, jumpsuits and tigers and bows, oh my. So I wanted bows, and I thought, I don't love tying straps up here, which is what the original one does. The only reason I don't like it is because if you then put a jacket on, it just feels like a weird bulk, and especially if you're carrying a bag, that feels really uncomfortable. So I wanted the bows to appear here, which is out of the way for the weight of the bag or a jacket. And so I decided that I would make the wider straps, but the back ones would be much longer than the front ones, so that the bows tie at the front. And I'll put a picture and or video up, because I'm very happy with that result. Really, really happy. The other thing that I changed on this one, so it is my 3rd time making it, which is always useful because you can keep improving little bits that you want to do on the pattern. And it's, maybe I'll put it on to keep chatting about it. There it is. So fun. And yes, I'll put pictures up so you can see the full effect, but I'm very pleased with it. And these straps do cover my bra straps, which I'm very happy about. So the other things that I changed, this time in the second version I'd done, I lowered the crotch by 1 inch, because it was a little bit, for crouching and things like that, I felt like it was a little bit tight. This time I lowered it by 2 inches, and it is the most comfortable one for me so far. So I just made basically a line perpendicular to the grain line on the trouser piece, which is only 1 trouser piece, made a line, cut, and then pivoted at the side seam so that the side seam wouldn't change, and say this is the crotch, this is the side seam, this is the line. I cut and pivoted out so that 2 inches were added here, nothing was added at the side seam, and then put some paper and redrew the crotch curve. And it just means that there's more room, which in a jumpsuit really is what you want. You need the crotch to be a little bit lower, and because the trouser legs are so big, I don't mind it looking like a very dropped crotch. It's much more comfortable. So I did that. And the other thing that I did, oh yes, so I think in the pattern it's recommended to interface either both the outer and the lining for the bodice, just for coverage and stuff. And if you don't do both, it's recommended that you just do the outer one. I think I've done both in both my versions. And annoyingly, and I don't know if it's to do with the interfacing that I've been using, the fabrics that I've been using, but I do buy quite good interfacing, to be honest. So I don't know what it is. Maybe I didn't stick it down enough, but basically every time that those two come out of the wash, I really have to go back in with the iron quite a lot because it's bubbled up a bit, which is really annoying. So this time I just interfaced the lining so that the outer is a little bit looser and softer, and hopefully it won't bubble up too much when I wash it. If it does, it doesn't matter. But I'm quite happy with how it looks with just interfacing the outer, to be honest. And I'm very happy with the placement of my tiger. This one's going, and then there's climbing tigers here. And I think I've got a tiger butt at the back. Yeah, a little tail. You make me giggle. I'm really happy with this. And this was 3 meters of narrow fabric with the pockets mostly cut out of a different fabric and narrower legs, as I've mentioned. And I think some of these straps are cut into pieces, pieced together, which doesn't matter to me, honestly. When it comes to the straps, it doesn't matter. It's so busy as well. So extremely happy about this one. Very, very good for summer, very bright. And I think it has done justice to this beautiful, beautiful fabric. So that's one new make that I'm extremely happy about, and that it came out of nowhere, sort of, because I hadn't mentioned it on the vlog at all, that I was thinking of making it, but I just saw it in my stash. I was looking at my stash, what to sew next. And I know that I've laid out some plans for other things, but this pattern was already sort of ready to go. I just made a few tiny adjustments. So the appeal of it was that, I believe. Right, that is it for sewing. I'm going to move on to some knitting finished objects. I always feel like a proper knitter when I say that. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Sophie scarf, which you saw me talk about, I think in the last one, in the last vlog. I had almost finished it and I now have finished it. Whoop. It's a tiny little scarf that is so easy to knit, and I really like it. I like to tie it like this. I mean, not right now because I'm boiling, but I do like how it looks. It's this lovely lilac yarn that I had left over from a few other knitted makes. And yeah, it's not super exciting, but it makes me so happy every time I finish one of these. And I've mentioned before, it's a great project to do, to knit when you can't really concentrate too much, because it's very easy, very straightforward. And if you are thinking of starting to knit, or maybe you used to knit and you want to get back into it, I would highly recommend this. In fact, I was in a yarn shop recently, a beautiful yarn shop in Richmond called Knit With Me. I would recommend it. Richmond in London, UK. Beautiful, beautiful shop, beautiful yarn. And the owner, she's very, very good at recommending things and, you know, giving you advice. And I overheard her talking to a woman who was saying, I've lost my mojo with knitting. I want to get back into it. I don't know what to do. And she recommended a Sophie scarf. So even knitting experts are recommending it. I think it's just a very satisfying way to get you back into the motion of knitting. Really, really cute. I still don't know if I'm going to keep this or keep it to give as a present. I might just, you know, because it's hot right now, I might wait until it's a little bit colder and then decide if I need it or if I could give it to someone. Maybe it's a super early Christmas present. That's not a bad idea. So yeah, I will put it away. I will store it away very safely. And of course, I don't know if you're not familiar with the Sophie scarf already, you might not know that one of the best things about it is that it rolls up to look like a little croissant. It's it's the little things, isn't it? This is why it's such an Instagrammable knitting project, I think. Very cute, very satisfying. So that is finished object number 1. And that is the Sophie scarf pattern by Petite Knit. I should have mentioned it. All of the patterns that I mentioned, I'm going to link to below. Do not worry. The next thing you also saw almost finished in the last vlog, and it is my egg sock. Here she is. I finished it since I last spoke to you. And I haven't blocked it yet because I want to block the 2 socks together. I have cast on the second sock. I hope you're proud of me because I did think after finishing it, oh, who's going to make me do that? I made myself do it. There you go, Eggies. I'm going to put a picture of it on my foot because that's not a good representation. But there she is. It's a very cute sock. Eggies all round. This is the Eggs on Toast knitting pattern from the breakfast set by Stone Knits. I think I've said that right. I'll link to it below, of course. And I will hopefully get the second sock done in the near future so I can block them. Actually, it doesn't have to be the near future. I want to get it finished by the time winter comes because I want to wear these bad boys because they're so cute. Look at it, so plushy and soft. And at the moment they fit very, very well. I'm hoping that with blocking they're not gonna stretch out. Wish me luck, but that's a bridge we'll cross at a later date once I finished the second sock. But yes, a half finished object, if you will. And finally, the last finished object, knitting wise, is one that I did share maybe as a work in progress a while back. And it is the Monet tank by Wool and the Gang. I'm not going to wear it because right now it's boiling, but I did get some pictures of me wearing it on the one day when it was a bit fresher and rainy. And I am so happy, so happy. It was a very straightforward make. You make it in pieces, so it's not in the round. You make the front, you make the back, and then you join the collar, the neckline in the round. The fabric, it's in the fabric. The yarn is a tweed yarn. It's purple, and I'm very happy with it. And I used smaller needles than recommended and the smallest size, and that has given me exactly the kind of fit that I want. So I think I'm starting to learn that I like things a lot snugger than knitting patterns want them to be. And so I'm learning to adjust that to my taste, basically. So by the measurements, I should have possibly even made a medium, I think, but I didn't want a boxy kind of vest. I wanted a fitted cropped one. So that's what we've done, and that's what we've got. And I'm very happy with this neckline because it's so plushy, very soft. It's knitted and then folded under in rib, 1 by 1. Yeah, really nice. And I've got one of my pretty labels from Purple Stitches in there. I love these little labels, and I genuinely needed it because it's hard to tell the front from the back for this. But yeah, a very straightforward project. I would recommend it to beginners. Wool and the Gang do kits, so you can get everything you need with them. The confusing thing, so you get the instructions, and there's also a YouTube tutorial. I didn't find it super helpful, I'll be honest. There's something about it that the teaching style wasn't for me. But, you know, it's good to see things up close. But one thing I got confused by is that it tells you to use circular needles and then it never knits in the round. So I'm pretty sure the neckline, it tells you to knit it flat. So you've got the front and the back still separated. You knit back and forth the ribbing and then you stitch it together. I was like, no, I've got circular needles in my hand and I'm trying to knit something circular. So I'm just going to do it in the round. Why not? And it worked perfectly fine. So yeah, maybe that's a way of making it easier for absolute beginners, which I do think is the Wool and the Gang sort of MO. Like, they just want to make it as accessible as possible, which I get. But if you know a little bit, I feel like by this point I was like, no, I can make the choice here, and I'm very happy I did because it's nice and seamless now. But yeah, really nice little project. I really enjoyed this because it's very portable. So it's not a full jumper, which you need a very big bag for. I did take this to the park quite often. I took it to a knit night, which I love here in London. I think I was on the body, so it was perfect. It was just stockinette, back and forth, very easy. So you can chat. I didn't have to pay too much attention to the instructions. And yeah, I would recommend it. And if you go on the Wool and the Gang website, you can only find the kits, which are quite pricey because their wool is not, for me, it's not cheap. I'm sure it's lovely, but I had lots of this chunky wool that I wanted to use, and I wanted to make something like this. So I looked and looked, and I found the pattern is purchasable on Ravelry. So that's what I'll link to below. If you, like me, have something in your stash that you want to use and you want to make this little tank top. So there we go. I'd call that a knitting success, and I'm very impressed that I managed to finish it during summer, because then as soon as it gets a little bit cooler, I can wear it, which is ideal. Oh, and I should have said, I didn't even mention the blocking situation. So I've made a jumper out of this yarn before, and when I blocked it by fully submerging it in water, it grew to a ridiculous degree. Like the sleeves literally grew by like 15 centimeters. It's ridiculous. I still wear it because it's very cozy, but it's not ideal when you make something and you're like quite happy with the fit and suddenly it's 3 sizes bigger. So with this one, I have heard that if yarn grows a lot, people recommend that instead of blocking it by submerging it in water, you just steam it. So I use my steamer just to make the fibers relax. Is that what you say? Rather than making it grow at all, because by the time I finished it, I was very happy with the size. What will I do when I have to wash it? That is a bridge that we're going to cross at another time. That is a future Alma problem. For now, we are happy. We're going to wear it sparingly and only when it's cold, so I don't sweat. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Right. I think that is everything I have to show you today. I'm very pleased. It's quite a funny combination of very summery sewn garments and very cozy knits, which is, you know, why not? Keep you guessing. No, but I'm excited that I'm making warm things now that I have the energy and excitement to make them. Because then by the time it gets cold and I don't want to do anything, and literally by 6 p.m. I'm on the sofa and I just don't want to do anything, I will have new knits ready for me. Hopefully a full pair of eggy socks and the lovely vest that I finished. So yay, I'm happy with that progress. Let me know if you have made any of the patterns I mentioned today, sewn or knit. I'm always curious to see what everyone's making, what everyone's planning to make. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. Consider buying me a coffee. The link is below if you can. If not, just share the news about this channel far and wide. Consider subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you to every single person who's subscribed already. I hope you're enjoying what I'm bringing every week. I hope you're getting inspired by some of the fun, silly things that I like to make, like spluted tigers on jumpsuits that look like a circus outfit. As I say, it doesn't have to be exactly you, but hopefully it gives you a little inspiration to maybe try something a bit more colorful, a shape that's a bit more out there. I don't know. I'd love to think that I'm bringing you ideas and hopefully keeping you company while you make. I'd love to see my vlogs used for that purpose, because that's how I consume lots and lots of vloggers here on YouTube. Lots of their content, I just have it on while I sew and while I knit, and it makes me happy. So hopefully I'm making you happy. I will see you again soon with another vlog. I'm not sure what it will be quite yet. We shall see. But in the meantime, keep making and keep chatting about making, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Oh no, we've lost. How did that even happen? What? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, okay, funny. Very funny.